Hey y'all, I'm Danielle. Welcome back to Testimony and Transparency. In today's video, I'm going to share with you a testimony from Jessica. She submitted her testimony through everytestimonymatters.com, and she has given me the okay to share this with others on my social media platforms in hopes to encourage. A lot of times when we think about testimony, we think about God doing a big miracle and there's rejoicing and it's like he made a way again. I don't know how he did it, but he came through again, and you just want to tell everybody. But that's not Jessica's testimony. Her testimony is about loss and specifically loss of a child. And so I'm going to share her social handle at the end. But a lot of what she talks about on her page is what do you do when God doesn't answer your prayer? What do you do when you're asking him to heal your sick child and he doesn't? What do you do? The testimony that she shared really reflects God's faithfulness and him walking with us through pain, comforting us, helping us with our grief. And we don't know why God doesn't answer every single prayer. Of course, He can, but what do you do when He doesn't? And so I want to read to you what she wrote in. She titled her testimony, Purpose in the Midst of Pain. In 2019, I met my husband while I was a single mom of two. We walked through the pandemic together, and in 2021, I started nursing school, believing I was stepping into a new season. But during that same time, my husband began having serious health issues, back pain, knee problems, and even concerns with his heart. Right after I graduated from nursing school, I learned I was pregnant again. In 2022, I gave birth to twin girls, Eva and Layla. What should have been the sweetest season of our lives quickly turned into the hardest. Just 1 month after they were born, both girls were diagnosed with dilated cardiomyopathy. I'm butchering that. It's a heart condition that caused their hearts to enlarge and go into heart failure. The first month of life, their first month of life was spent in the hospital. Ava's condition was serious, but Layla's was critical. She came home with a feeding tube and a strict around the clock regimen of medication. We cared for her at home for months, praying she would get stronger. In March 2024, everything changed. Layla got very sick. She had her first cardiac arrest and was life flighted to the nearest transplant hospital. Before she could even be evaluated for the transplant, she went into a second cardiac arrest and had to be placed on ECMO life support. After 3 weeks of fighting, Layla passed and went home to be with Jesus. 2 weeks later, while still grieving, I found out I was pregnant again. And a month after losing Layla, we learned that Ava had become just as sick as her sister. We rushed Ava back to the hospital, and she was sent to the same transplant center where Layla had passed. Within 3 days of arriving, Ava needed a Berlin heart, an external heart pump that would keep her alive while she waited for a donor. We lived in the hospital for 3 months, splitting time between home and the city, grieving one child while fighting for the life of another, all while I was pregnant again. In September 2024, we got the call a heart was available for Ava. We sent her into transplant surgery, not knowing what the outcome would be, but God brought her through. And on October 17th, Ava's first birthday, we were able to bring her home, healed, renewed, and given a second chance at life. On December 1st of that same year, I gave birth to our last baby, Nolan, who is heart healthy. Praise the Lord. This is our testimony, not of a perfect life, but of a faithful God, a God who sustained us through grief, fear, and impossible decisions, a God who took us through fire but never let us be consumed. And now, every day Ava lives, every breath she takes is a reminder that even after the deepest loss, God can still write redemption into our story. And so my heart just goes out to her and her family. But we see through her testimony of deep loss and grief and just unbearable pain that the Lord strengthened her, the Lord carried her through, and the Lord is faithful, and even in our suffering, He is still with us. He will never leave us. So I appreciate Jessica, you for sharing your testimony so that this can be shared with others. If y'all want to go follow her TikTok, her handle is Rooted and Rise with Jessica, and I will link that in the description. But what a powerful testimony. And again, thank you so much for sharing with us. If you have a testimony that you would like to share, big or small, whether it's a miracle story or whether it's a story of loss, please share it. Please share it at everytestimonymatters.com. All right. I love y'all and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.